Air conditioning services from Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111 to schedule your AC check. Bryant, whatever it takes.
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utilities direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
It's the middle child of driver safety. Ugh. It's like that scene in a movie you don't want to see, thinking, it won't happen to me. In the time of doing everything at once with 3 screens and taking meetings and eating in the car, it's not easy. But when driving takes the back seat, distracted driving causes more than 14% of fatal and injury crashes every year. For real. Let's start driving for real. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
You know the saying, April showers bring May flowers. Well, it's true for heart health, too. Sprinkling in a few small changes can make a big impact on your heart health. Try adding a vegetable to your dinner or no salt seasoning. Looking for support in making these changes? Join a workshop to learn more about a healthy lifestyle. Search Chronic Disease Nebraska for more details. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Step into the world of gymnastics with Nebraska women's gymnast and Canadian world team member, Emma Spence.
She got a bronze in the all-arounder, bronze on beam. And who knows if she'll get another medal. But that was a very confident performance.
This is Beyond the Routine with Spence.
Hitting all her handstands, connecting all her release moves, and landing that dismount. That's Emma Spence for you.
Sponsored by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, Emma Spence.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beyond the Routine. I'm your host, Emma Spence, and tonight I decided to do the show solo. I haven't done this since probably November, if I were to guess, so it's been a while, but I'm going to put myself to the challenge and see if I can do it. So basically, the reason I wanted to do this is because last week was my last ever gymnastics meet, which is really crazy to think. And I just wanted to take the opportunity, the time on this show to really go over everything that's kind of happened throughout my gymnastics journey, how I feel about retirement, the last few meets, and just, how I feel about it, what's next, and really dive into it. I feel like the last few shows that I've done, or I guess the last couple months, all throughout season, I've been interviewing different teammates and talking about what it's like during season, the journey of, I guess, preseason as well, because I did talk to them about what that was like. So we really went through the process of getting to know a lot of my teammates. I'm still not done yet. I still have a few teammates that I'm going to interview when I get the chance. But I don't know, hopefully the people that listen to this frequently understand kind of what it's like to be a Huskers gymnast, what it's like, the preseason, the meet days, the going through season. And now I guess I can talk about my journey over the last 4 years of doing that. And then I guess the last 15 years of doing gymnastics in general, so that I can kind of just recap my career. And I don't know. It's really weird. So last week was regionals, which is usually our last meet of the season. It really depends on how it goes. I don't think Nebraska has made it to nationals in, I don't know the specific date, but it's been quite a while. So we were more hoping to make it to day 2 of regionals, which would have been really nice. Unfortunately, we fell short of that goal, but that's all right. I'm still really proud of my performance and the team. We had some really great things that came out of the competition, even if it wasn't the result that we wanted. And I think we can walk away being proud of ourselves for that and proud of the work that we put into it, which is always a good feeling. And especially for so much of us, it was our last meet. There are 8 seniors on the gymnastics team, which is crazy. So I don't know. Usually we don't have that many seniors, but so there's a lot of us leaving, and we just really wanted to enjoy the experience, go out there and just take it all in. We weren't fully focused on no, actually that's not true. I was gonna say we weren't fully focused on the results, but like we were. We really did want to make it to day 2. Um, but we were also just trying to enjoy it and be there for each other and just appreciate the things that we have. Oh my goodness. There's this fly that keeps flying around and I'm gonna try not to get distracted by that. But yeah, so honestly, I don't even know if I've processed being retired yet. It's really weird because I mean, there was a good chance that I was going to be done last weekend. So like there was an end date for it, which is really interesting because I don't know if you were cut, it was your season was cut short or something due to injury. You don't really like see the end coming until it happens. But in this case, I did know that there was a good chance that I was about to be done. So I don't know if it's something that like because I was able to anticipate the end of it or something, but I don't know. I haven't had like that rush of emotions yet from being done, which is crazy because after senior night was done, so many people on the girls on my team were very just like emotional. There were a lot of tears and just a lot of big feelings, and I didn't even cry. And I was literally like, why am I not crying? Like I feel like I should be because of everything that's kind of just happened, my love for the sport, my love for my teammates. But I was literally just like there and I was like asking around. I was like, is it weird that like I'm not crying? Like I'm just kind of at peace with being done. I'm content with where I'm at and I'm kind of just excited to move on. So that was interesting. So then I was like, all right, it'll probably happen at regionals. But no, it actually didn't, which was really interesting because I don't know. I feel like I've done this for like 15 years of my life. So I don't know. I expected some tears, but I didn't cry after regionals either. So I'm wondering if one day I'm just going to wake up and be like, wow, I'm actually done. And like then it'll happen. But I don't know. I'm at a place right now where I just feel really content. Um, a lot of things have happened throughout my career. And honestly, a lot of those things I I didn't even really expect when I started this sport and this journey before coming here, especially a lot of the things like I really didn't think I was going to be at this level in the sport. I really just started it because I was fun. Um, I talked about it a lot. How I started because my younger sister started first, and I was jealous of her for being able to do stuff around the house that I couldn't do. So then that's kind of why I started, and it was just like a family thing. It was something that we did for fun, and that's kind of just I just kept doing it because I thought it was fun. There were periods of time in my career where it wasn't so fun, but I think that's normal. It's a normal part of the sport in any sport, I'm sure. But, I've talked about it in other shows and episodes about just the mental health side of the sport and like the eating restriction side of the sport and the impacts that that might have. Um, but no, overall, I would say that it was a good journey and um, yeah, the experiences and everything that I've had were truly special, and I'm just yeah, I don't know. That the non-crying part is weird. That I don't understand. I literally texted my therapist and I said, "Is there something wrong with me? I'm not crying about this." She's like, "No, I think you're just like you're at peace with the fact that you're done. Like you've done so much, you're happy with where you're at and you're ready to move on." And I was like, "All right, I don't know." So, we'll see. I'll let you know if it just one day I just wake up sobbing because I'm done, but right now I'm feeling good about it. I'm excited for the future and I'm just yeah, I'm ready to be done. That's how I'll put it. But another thing that was interesting that I was thinking about as I was prepping about like what am I going to talk about this show? Um, when the last meet was done, so when regionals was done last week, I literally was talking to my parents and I was like, you know what? Like, I actually think I could do this for another year too. Like, I considered it for like an hour, maybe, probably not even that long. Um, I was like, oh yeah, like I would love to just keep doing gymnastics for a couple more years. Like, I can do it. But I don't know. That lasted literally an hour, if that. And now I'm like, no, I think I did make the right choice. And yeah, I don't know. I'm still processing if you can't tell. I'm very all over the place, very chaotic. Um, so if I'm all over the place with this conversation, bear with me. One of my friends recently told me that it's controlled chaos. I'm like, I'm so chaotic. They're like, well, it's controlled chaos. I'm like, that's true. That is fair. At least it's not too crazy, which is good. But yeah, one thing I think that really influenced me and my journey over the last few years was injuries. That definitely made it harder for me because my body was not really having it, to say the least. On and off injuries over the last few years. I mean, was it sophomore year? I was supposed to go to world championship trials. Then I got mono and strep, and I was down bad for like weeks. Didn't even make it to trials, and then I ended up being thrown in the team last minute. Went through that. That was a crazy experience, and I feel like, honestly, I probably haven't recovered from then. I feel like I just haven't really taken much time off, and I think that's maybe what I'm looking forward to is just resting and healing my body so that I can kinda just go about life without being in a lot of pain all the time. Um, but yeah, so there's been that, and then I have, like, chronic stress reactions in my shins. So that happened at the end of my freshman year, and I've been in and out of a boot for the last 3 years, I would say. Like, all summer of 2023, I stopped elite gymnastics because my bones were just not doing well, and then, um, last season, I was in and out in a boot a little bit, and then this season, which a lot of people actually don't know about this, is that I've been in a boot from the Illinois meet, so January to last week. I had to wear a boot anytime I was not doing gymnastics. So every time I would go to class, every time I'd go shopping, the grocery store, or come here, I always had to wear a boot, and that was getting really frustrating. But honestly, I do think it did help my shins a little bit. But um, yeah, that was a whole other situation that I had to figure out and kind of navigate this season, which made it a little bit more difficult, a little bit more obstacles than I would have liked, but we figured it out, learned how to manage that. Um, Another thing, so the pink meat, I never actually talked about this. I saw on Twitter people were questioning why I wasn't competing the rest of the meet. I ended up competing vault bars, so it was a home meet, so we go vault bars, beam floor. I competed vault. I had a weird landing on my vault that I was competing, and I don't think people really noticed, and honestly, it didn't even look that bad when I rewatched it, but I kinda, like, hyperextended my knee a little bit and caused a bone bruise in my ankle. But it was just really sore, and I went to compete bars, and it still hurt quite a bit, and then we moved on to beam, and I was, like, telling the coaches, I was like, "I don't know if it's, like, the best decision for me to keep going just because senior week was the week after that, and then it was, like, Big Tens and regionals, and I really wanted to be able to compete all around at those meets more than, like, the pink meet. So, we made the decision. I warmed up. It was like, my warm up was fine, but I was in quite a bit of pain, and I was just like, "I don't think it's worth it to try and push through the pain to compete beam and floor, and then potentially not be able to compete at senior night." That's what was in the back of my mind. I really wanted to compete at senior night. So, we ended up pulling out of beam and floor so that I could kinda rest, heal. So, another crazy part of this is, so I was wearing my boot on the right leg for about 3 months-ish, but at the pink meet, after that situation happened, I had to switch the boot and wear it on my left foot because I hurt my left ankle. So I had to wear the boot on my left ankle for about a week and a half-ish as that was healing. So I ended up basically taking that whole week off of landings and everything. And then it was kinda good enough to be able to just do gymnastics again, and then I had to switch the boot back to my right ankle, so I was really going back and forth with this boot situation. It was really frustrating, but the only thing about wearing it on the left foot was that I was able to drive with it on without having to either try to drive with my left foot, or which I didn't really do. Um, and then, yeah, just, like, changing my shoes in the car. It was getting really annoying, especially in the snow. Like, that was just a terrible time to be in a boot, January to, like, April. But anyways, gotta do what you gotta do. That's kinda how I got through the meet. Um, One thing, though, that I wanted to touch on was I don't know, looking back on my senior year, I feel like it didn't go as good as it could have or as good as I would have liked. It's hard to say. I don't think it was my best season. I feel like my best season was probably sophomore year, if I'm being honest. Maybe a little bit last year. I mean, there were parts of this year that were really good. I did have some good routines, but overall, it wasn't like I didn't feel like I had a meet that I went out there and everything just clicked and worked. And that was really frustrating because the last few years I've been able to practice and work in the gym before competing. But because of the injuries that I was dealing with in my shins and my ankles this season, I was not really practicing like at all. Like I would do like a floor routine at the meet on the weekend, and then I wouldn't train floor all week, and then I would go out and do another floor routine. Like I wouldn't do any passes or anything. I would just warm up on meet day, and then I would compete again. And the same thing with vault. I wasn't really practicing at all. So I feel like that probably impacted my performance a little bit, which was kind of frustrating because it's not like there was anything I could do to control it. Um, I know, like, yeah, it's interesting because I don't know. There is the fine line between overtraining and not training enough. And I feel like I was at the point where I was almost not training enough to be able to perform the way that I would have liked. But because of my injuries, I wasn't able to train properly or really train at all for a couple weeks of season. So that made it really challenging to go out there and feel confident in my routines because it's not like I could have relied or trusted the routines that I did in training because I didn't do that. So that was an additional obstacle, I guess I would say, that I had to navigate and kind of figure out because throughout the last 4 years and even going into before even coming here, like, there were times that I had to modify. Like, for example, prepping for the 2020 Olympic trials, my back was really bad, and I couldn't practice very much either, and for my beam assignments, I would get up on the beam, and I would just, like, walk back and forth, moving my arms, like, visualizing and mentally doing my beam routines because physically I was not able to do that. And, like, it works to an extent, but it does have that component of, like, not fully being able to trust yourself when the pressure and the stress was on. And that's where it got a little bit more stressful, for when I did compete, and that was really sad because I really wanted this year I just wanted to go out there and trust myself and feel like I could just be free and let it happen. And it was a lot harder to be able to go out and do that without having all of these reps under my belt and knowing like, "Oh, well, I hit this routine in practice like a couple days ago because I didn't." And I do feel like that did affect my confidence, I guess. Like if we go back to the Iowa meet, I don't remember what month that was, probably February. I forgot my beam dance. Like, has a 22-year-old ever forgotten a beam dance in a competition? Like, I don't know, but that was crazy. I was like, that is so embarrassing, first of all. But I just didn't have the reps. Like, I just wasn't able to practice. So I literally was in the middle of my beam routine and I forgot my dance. And I looked around for a second and I just started moving my arms, walking around. I finished my beam routine and I look at Molly, our beam coach. I was like, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry I forgot my dance. She's like, well, because you forgot your dance, you didn't have side dance and you did an extra pivot turn. So, like, I was even missing requirements because I forgot my dance. And ugh, that was embarrassing. Um, Once that happened, we kind of figured out how to navigate that on Beam. I started doing a lot of dance routines, even if I wasn't doing the actual skills, just so that wouldn't happen again. Um, but like in other cases on floor, for example, I just kept hopping on my landings or I don't know, my vault landings, for example, they were just a little bit more out of control. Well, one, because when my ankles would hit the ground, I would like it would just be like shooting pain. So I would kind of like twitch a little bit and like it wasn't as controlled just because of the pain of my like shins and ankles, but also just the lack of reps. So that's tough to kind of look back on and just be like, that's how my senior year went. Um, from a gymnastics perspective, it wasn't ideal. It wasn't bad. Like I'm not saying it was bad, but I did have higher expectations for myself And especially like how the last few years went for me, I was hoping to kind of just capitalize on that and really just like finish with a bang. I really wanted to qualify to nationals. And oh my goodness, I was so close. So if you guys, anyone knows kind of how this works. So I was at regionals last week and I won bars, but I was tied. So another girl won bars too. And if you don't qualify as a team to go to nationals, then the top, like the winner on each event ends up going as an individual. But I tied with this girl on bars and she ended up winning the tiebreaker. And that was tough. I was literally like there, but then I wasn't able to go. Um, you know, it's fine. It is what it is. But that would have been really cool to end my career saying I made it to nationals and I went to nationals. But yeah, that was tough. And especially knowing like I guess bars this year has been going good. Like this is probably my best bars year, just like consistency wise, like stuck landings and just like really working in on the details. But um overall, like at regionals, I could have qualified as an all-arounder as well, but I fell on my floor turn. Like that is also so embarrassing. It's just little mistakes here and there, and I think it's from the lack of reps. But I guess I can't really say that about turns because a turn is a turn. I don't know what happened there. Um, so my all-around score wasn't great because I just had these little mistakes that were also kind of frustrating. But overall, I can like 100% say that this season has been the most fun that I've had. I've really focused on just enjoying the experience, not worrying as much on about the mistakes, or if I have a little mistake, kind of laugh about it and move on. Being present, being in the moment, and just truly trying to enjoy the experience. And I feel like that is something that I was focusing on. That is a goal that I had going into this year. And I'm really glad that I at least can say that like I truly enjoyed the experience of my senior year competing because I mean, I feel like ideally that's probably the best way it could have gone. I mean, it would have been nice to advance further and experience the like goals that I was kind of striving for and hit my routines to the way that I feel like I know I can do, but due to the circumstances I wasn't really able to perform at my best. But looking back, just being able to say that I truly enjoyed the time with my teammates. I feel like, and a bunch of girls have also talked about this on the show, that the team cohesion and dynamics that we have this year are so special. The connection that we have, the ways that we interact with each other and engage with each other. And we just have so much fun and really just connect and understand each other has just really helped with that team cohesion and dynamic in the gym and outside of the gym. Um, we've had so many things that we've done outside of the gym. I mean, one thing, for example, tonight after this, I'm going to play more with them and we're going line dancing. So just a lot of little team activities here and there have really brought us closer together and just enjoyed the moments together. And I think it also does go back to all those seniors that we have. A lot of us have that mindset of really wanting to enjoy what we're doing. And I think, yeah, we just are trying to enjoy these last moments that we have with each other. And even though our season is done, we're still spending so much time together and taking advantage of that and just being able to be around so many girls that really understand each other and are kind of going through the same things, especially all of us going through retirement right now. We can kind of talk about it and relate to each other because not always that people have like those people that they can kind of rely on or talk about things that like I don't know, we just really relate to each other right now, which is great. Some other great memories that I think made this season really special with the team was just like hanging out in the hotel, um, post meets, one of the meets. This was a couple weeks ago. We brought a volleyball in the pool. And once the meet was done, everyone got in the pool. We're in a circle. We're playing volleyball in the hotel pool. Volleyball is like a big thing that our team likes to do. We went actually, what is that? A couple days ago. We went to the volleyball area. I don't know, near the dorms. And we played beach volleyball together for a little bit. We weren't very good. I got hit in the face with the ball, like completely. And 3 of us actually did that day because we don't have best control of the ball and we just go hit the ball and it just like goes completely the other way and then it smacks someone in the head. But, it's fine. It's fun. Good times, good memories. I don't know. I think we're gonna head to the break, but I'll continue my thoughts on that. But yeah, you're listening to Beyond the Routine with Emma Spence.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
You know the saying, April showers bring May flowers. Well, it's true for heart health, too. Sprinkling in a few small changes can make a big impact on your heart health. Try adding a vegetable to your dinner or no salt seasoning. Looking for support in making these changes? Join a workshop to learn more about a healthy lifestyle. Search Chronic Disease Nebraska for more details. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket. Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
In today's digital world, technology works great until it doesn't. At Hamilton, we work to keep your business up and running. We are more than an IT company. We're your partner, focused on customized solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Say goodbye to tech stress and unexpected IT costs when you hire Hamilton. Together, we help you focus on what really matters. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys. You'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Back to Beyond the Routine with Spence on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Beyond the Routine. I'm your host, Emma Spence, and I'm going solo tonight. Just kind of talking about my retirement, leading up to retirement, how I feel about it, and kind of what's next. So I was just talking about how this season, I just really tried to enjoy it. I tried to be present. I tried to be engaged with my teammates and just fully enjoy the experience. And because of that, I can confidently say that this was the most fun I've had over my last 4 years here. I feel like there are probably a couple factors that have influenced that. I mean, this is the only year I've done NCAA gymnastics without doing elite as well, and that created a lot of stress, definitely. But I don't know. I feel like because maybe knowing it was my last one, that also probably impacted a little bit. But overall, I would say, yeah, it was just a great time. But one thing that I kind of think is interesting to think about, and I don't know, it's the other side of it. When I put that together, like I talked about in the last segment, I feel like this has not been my best season from a gymnastics standpoint, but it's been like the most fun that I've had. And I wonder, like, did that, like, because I wasn't like as hard on myself when I made mistakes, or I wasn't like not as not locked in, because I was still locked in, but I just wasn't as like hard on myself or strict on myself with like the mindset and the attitudes that I had. Like, you can't make a mistake, don't fall, like all this stuff. Like, I wonder if because I didn't have that mindset or like those thoughts going into these meets, is that kind of like why I did worse? Like, I don't know. I have been thinking about it. It's probably not related. I don't know. But that was just something that I was thinking about. And I was like, I don't know. But either way, not that I don't care, but the way that this season went from like a enjoyment and happiness perspective, I wouldn't take that back at all. And I'm really happy and just like proud of being able to get to a place where I am able to go out there and enjoy it, because I've mentioned it a few times on this show or different episodes that I've done, whether solo or with other people, that there was a time that I actually really hated gymnastics. And it wasn't necessarily due to just like the sport itself, but the environments that I were in. I've touched on it quite a bit, the toxic side and the toxic culture of elite gymnastics with crazy coaches and crazy diets and all these other things that have influenced that. So knowing that I ended my last season with having the most fun that I've ever had in the sport is something that I'm truly proud of, because I didn't even know if I was going to come here, first of all. That was something that I was debating for a while, unsure if this was going to be the best thing for me. And I'm really glad that it was weird because I had to move here without ever being in Nebraska. I didn't even really know what it was until Heather reached out to me. Like, I had to look on a map and be like, where is this place? So I literally just kind of blindly moved to a state that I've never been to before by myself without knowing anybody else, to get to a point where now I can look back on those 4 years and just be like, I've grown so much as a person. I've grown so much as an athlete. I've accomplished more than I ever thought was possible. I've made so many connections with incredible people. And it's just been an incredible experience. It was more than I'd hoped for. And it was probably the best thing that I could have done. And like, I'm sure of that, which is why I'm like, the growth from coming in as a freshman and hating gymnastics. And I also came in as so when I was a freshman that summer, was the 2020 Olympics, because it was delayed to 2021. And I was a non-traveling alternate, which is the same position I was in last year, which was annoying. But taking that and being in that position as a freshman and coming in was very, very difficult, because being an alternate for the Olympics sucks. And I've talked about it so many times. It's just not the best position to be in mentally, or probably in any way. It was still an honor, but it was definitely challenging. So that transition going into this, I was not in the best headspace. I was not happy. I was not enjoying gymnastics. And the coaches here worked really hard with me to help rebuild that and grow and re-see and just like relearn the sport in a different way, with the intention of enjoying myself, being kind to myself, taking care of myself. There were just so many different things and different approaches and ways that I went about this. in gymnastics the last 4 years, which have truly changed me as a person and as a gymnast. And that is the reason why I ended up going back to competing elite gymnastics. I wasn't going to be doing that, but because of the mindset I was in, I wanted to see if it would be possible to do it again and just how I would do. And my sophomore year is, freshman to sophomore year, that summer is when I decided to go back to doing elite gymnastics. It went better than it's ever gone, which was really crazy. I went to Commonwealth Games, 3-time Commonwealth Games medalist. So I was one of the most decorated Canadian athletes at that competition, which was crazy because it was a multi-sport event. So there were athletes from all different sports there. And then from that, a couple months later, I went to the World Championships, and I was part of the team that made history and qualified Canada at the 24 Olympics 2 years in advance. And we made history by winning the first team medal for Canada at a World Championship. So that experience and those experiences, I would not have been able to do that if it weren't for my experiences here at Nebraska. That is for sure. And then the reason that I decided to try again for the last Olympics was also due to that and the support that I had here. They really made me believe that I was capable, and I was very scared to go through that again because I already knew what it was like to not make the Olympics, and that sucked. And I went through that. I was like 18, 19 years old of working so hard for something and then just coming short. And that happened right before I came here. And I told the coaches here, I was like, well, what if I don't make it again? And then I have to keep doing gymnastics. I can't just quit. I have 1 season left of gymnastics. And whether I make the Olympics or not, I'm going to have to keep doing gymnastics. And if I don't make the Olympics again, I'm probably not going to want to keep doing gymnastics because that's going to be very difficult for me. And we tried to reframe it. It wasn't just about making the Olympics this time for me. It was more of honoring my gymnastics journey as a whole, honoring myself and the growth that I've had over the last few years. And just, more of like a tribute to my career and knowing that I could walk away from the sport with no regrets, knowing that I went out there and I gave it everything that I had and that I could walk away without looking back. And that is why I decided to try for the last Olympics. It was interesting because I did not defer NCAA. So I was training and competing NCAA while also trying to train for the Olympics. And because of that, there was a lot of bias, and Gymnastics Canada wasn't really a fan of that at the time. So my the point system that they were using to select the Olympic team was a little bit different for me because I didn't do all the competitions to get the full point requirement to qualify. So I was already kind of at a disadvantage going into Olympic trials, which I knew. But at that point, I was like, I got nothing to lose. I'm just going to kind of give it all I got. And it didn't go the way that I wanted it to, but you live and you learn. And I still can say that I gave it everything I had. I gave it my best. And even if it didn't work and I didn't make the Olympics, and I unfortunately ended up in the situation that I didn't want to be in again. I was once again a non-traveling alternate for the Olympics. That was challenging to say the least. I mean, going through it once, I was like, all right, I'm probably going to be done with gymnastics. And then I just decided not to be done. And then going through it twice, at least I knew what it was like. I knew what to expect, but it was still a really hard position to be in. And then I still had to come back and finish my last year, my senior year. But, the coaches were great. The coaches here at Nebraska, I would not be who I am right now if it weren't for them. And the support and the encouragement from them and from my team, honestly, really helping me from that transition of last summer not making the Olympics again, but still being an alternate. So I still had to attend all the camps and be a part of them, watch the girls get their Leos and like all these things, the excitement that they have because they were about to leave for the Olympics. And I was part of that journey, but not. That was very difficult. And then having to go from that to, all right, now it's my last year. But because I don't know, a lot of people probably would have retired after that, and I probably would have too. But thank goodness, honestly, I did have this extra year because I took the summer off. Mentally was not doing well. I really went down a spiral, and the support systems that I've had here really helped me get out of that. Um, yeah, I really had to work on my mental health, get back in eating. I've touched on this before, but when things go wrong in my life, I tend to accidentally forget to eat. And that happened because I was really down bad this summer, and yeah, lost a lot of weight. Had to get back on that. Had to have some help with that, but I got back on track, back to where I should have been within a couple months. And the support systems that I've had here were just incredible. And yeah, I definitely would not be here if it weren't for them. But going from that to doing a full year without elite gymnastics was really interesting because I was focusing on just NCAA, just my teammates, just my NCAA coaches, and just going out there and giving the best performances that I can when it counted. Kind of like like I touched on in the other segment, the injury part of things definitely made it more challenging for me, but I definitely really went out there and just enjoyed the experience with my team. And I'm glad now looking back that I had that extra year after the Olympic stuff happened last summer to end my career on a high note, to end it with the people that I love, the people that shaped me into who I am now as an athlete and as a person, because I definitely would not be where I am now if it weren't for my teammates and my coaches. So just kind of a good way. It was like, I don't know, I was calling this year my victory lap. It's like I accomplished almost everything that well, not almost everything, but I accomplished a lot of things that I wanted to throughout my career over the last 6, 7 years. So now this year, I was like, it's more of just like a tribute to my journey. And I'd say it's like my victory lap, just go out there and enjoy it. And that's kind of why I wasn't focusing as much on the scores. And I was more just focusing on the moments and the memories and taking it all in for the first time, which is crazy to think because I really wish I used to do this. Is I would be at a meet and I would just look around and take it all in and just realize how grateful I am to be in that position and how lucky I am to be out there competing and being with my team and have my family watch. My family came to watch me like 5 times this season, and they haven't really watched many of my gymnastics meets in NCAA like my whole career. So that was really special. Looking at my family in the crowd, um, being with my team, all of our little inside jokes, all of our comments, and just really being there and locking in and supporting each other was really, really special. So yeah, overall, I guess looking back on that now, that's probably why I'm at peace with the decision. I'm happy, I'm ready for what's next. I'm ready to kind of move on and transition. And I think it's just because I've had so many different chapters throughout my career through the elite side of things, but then also the NCAA side of things, and then going back and forth, all of these ups and downs of making these big teams competing at these high meets and then, you know, getting injured and then not making this team and then making this team. And it's just been a roller coaster, but it's been good. And I'm happy with it. And it's crazy to say that it's done now. But yeah, I'm ready for what's next. And I don't fully know what that is, if I'm being honest. But I'm graduating in May. I have my master's, no. My major is communication studies, and my minors are going to be education and psychology. And I've applied for my master's, so I'm going to do my master's in counseling. I think it'd be really cool to get into sports psych. I feel like I've worked with them my whole career since I was like, I don't know, 10 years old, probably even younger, with like sports psych and sports counselors. And I feel like going into something like that would be really cool so that I can keep working with athletes and kind of use my experiences to help people moving forward. I mean, I've done that quite a bit with like all like the mental health talks and the advocacy and all those kind of things that I've done. Um, I've talked about it a lot on social media. Not as much on this, but I've done different talks for different committees and organizations. Um, So just kind of using my experience to do that. I'm the athlete rep at Gymnastics Canada now. So even if I'm not like an athlete there, I'm able to use my experiences to help them kind of, I don't know, those girls mean a lot to me. And I know what it's like to be in their shoes and be able to offer some experience and guidance and things that I've learned to help their experiences be better, especially the girls trying to do NCAA and elite gymnastics at the same time. Really working towards creating an environment for them to be able to thrive in both settings without being penalized for doing both. Because I feel like it's not really normal in the culture at Gymnastics Canada, but a lot of girls are trying and wanting to do both. So being able to provide and be support for them through that journey is something that I'm really looking forward to. Another thing is I love doing my like talks. I guess like this counts as one of them, but throughout the summers, people usually not people, but gym clubs and different sporting organizations hire me to go talk to their athletes about certain topics. And I think that's really fun. And I definitely want to be able to keep doing things like that on the side. Continue with this radio show. DP said that I can keep it. So that'll be really fun. It'll be interesting to see what I come up with and talk about now that I won't be doing gym here. But being able to have this platform, I think, is going to be really cool. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I feel like even though I'm done with gymnastics, it has taught me so much and it's shaped me and kind of made me who I am. So because of that, I don't think like, I don't know, it's still part of my identity. It's not who I am. And I've gotten to a point over the last few years where I realized like, I'm not just Emma the gymnast. Like I'm Emma who does gymnastics, which has been a huge thing for me to grasp and just kind of use that knowledge just in my everyday life. You know, I'm not just a gymnast. I'm who like gymnastics has influenced me kind of. I don't know if that's the right way to word it, but that's been like a really good kind of perspective that Heather's actually worked with me on a lot, our head coach, and I'm really grateful for that. But yeah, I don't know. I think we'll head to the next break and then I'll finish off the last segment in a few minutes. You are listening to Beyond the Routine with Emma Spence.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys, you'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Buffalo Wings and Rings today on 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your County Veteran Service Officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Big news from your Nebraska Lottery. Mega Millions is now more mega than ever. First off, a new multiplier is built into the game. Plus, there are now bigger jackpots, better odds, and prizes start at $10. So don't miss out on these fantastic enhancements. Visit your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer today and play Mega Millions with the new built-in multiplier, bigger jackpots, better odds, and prizes starting at $10. Drawings Tuesdays and Fridays. $5 Mega Millions top prize odds, 1 in 290 million.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a four-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats, including Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Email Jake at theticketfm.com for more questions or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Early bird registration goes through April 20th, and overall registration goes through May 30th.
Back to Beyond the Routine with Spence on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond the Routine. I'm your host, Emma Spence, and this is our last quick segment of the show. One thing I wanted to touch on quick is a lot of people are asking me, like, why are you retiring now? And if you don't really know gymnastics, I feel like that's probably like a fair question, because most people probably do continue doing their sport once they finish with college. So I know there's a lot of factors that went into my decision. Typically, it is something that most people do, but that's not like really why I'm doing it necessarily. But I'm done with my NCAA career. I don't have any years left of eligibility. So because of that, no matter what, I would have to be done training and competing here at Nebraska. So if I were to continue, I would be doing elite gymnastics again, which is what I retired last summer. So elite gymnastics is the path that is like competing to try and make the Olympics. And because I guess I've been through that cycle so many times, 2 Olympic cycles now. So I was training all the way for 2020, Tokyo 2020, which ended up being deferred to 2021, which is crazy COVID situation. And then again, the 2024 Olympics in Paris. So I trained for those. I put in the work for that, trying to make the Olympic team. Unfortunately, fell just short twice. And I was an alternate twice for both of those Olympics. I've also done many other major competitions throughout my career, and I feel like ending with 2 Olympic alternate titles, I'm ready to be done with that elite side of things. I don't know. Part of me, I don't want to put myself through that again and potentially not make the Olympics again. But that's not the only reason, because I am still proud of how far I went in the sport, even though it wasn't like where I wanted to be with it. I can still look back and there were many great things in my elite career, but I don't want to keep doing it. It's really hard on the body, really hard mentally. The routines are a lot longer than the NCAA ones, and it's a lot. And I don't know, I feel like I've done that, and I've gotten out what I wanted out of that. We're pretty close. And I'm ready to be done with that. And then because I'm done with this, I'm good to call it quits. I'm ready to move on. Like I said, I'm excited for what's next. And I think, yeah, just finishing off my NCAA career is a good spot for me to be done. I'm in a good place mentally. I'm not in the best place physically, but we're working on it. I'm out of the boot, so that's nice. And yeah, just yeah, it's a good spot for me. Those are my main reasons for that. And yeah, like this week, for example, I've done so many fun things and I've just had so much more time on my hands. And I'm just so excited to see what else I'm going to find that I like to do. And what else that I do to fill up my time. I mean, with some of the girls on my team, we did a hot Pilates class the other day. That was really interesting. We played sand volleyball. We are going to line dancing tonight. And I just have so much more time to get my school done on time, which is really helpful too. And it helps with the stress of that. So I don't know. Overall, yeah, it's crazy to say that I'm done, but that's kind of where I'm at. And yeah, I'm excited to see what's next. But yeah, overall, I never really thought that I would go as far as I did in this sport, and how much it's really taken over my life. And honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything. The highs and the lows, the good and the bad, it's kind of made me who I am. So yeah, ready to move on with life. Shout out to my coaches, parents, teammates, fans, friends, everyone that supported me on my journey and throughout my career. And yeah, looking forward to what's next. That's a wrap of tonight's show. You are listening to Beyond the Routine with Emma Spence.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention